Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. Last episode, we made our way in Ondra's gift and started exploring a bit. As we explored, we discovered, we managed to save a Scrivener from a bunch of dozens trying to kill her, so now we have the information that we need to bring back to the Knights. And, we also found out about a quest where a woman doesn't know what happened to her husband and son. We found the husband in the bar. The son is missing. Also, there appear to be people robbing people trying to go to the brothel here. So we're going to have to deal with that. We'll see if we can do that. We'll just need to do some looking around. Also, it seems that the tide came in, and while we could look down there eventually, we'll need more, we'll need time to pass before we can go there. Let's see if we can find any hint of those, brutes who were robbing people. Could be anywhere. What have we here? Another tourist in the gift? He nods to his shifty-eyed companions. Let's give her a proper welcome. Let's talk this through. He draws a sharpened blade and smiles. I'm afraid you're missing the point, friend. Oh, time to kill you. There goes one thug. There goes a second. And one left. And there goes the third. And we have a rusty bronze key. One of the thugs dropped a key that looks like it belongs to a house in Ondra's gift. I feel like it might belong to that ramshackle house. We'll have to head over there and investigate. I'm just going to take a look at whatever else is down this path first. So it looks like this leads to something. Maybe. Surrounded by scattered planks, it isn't clear whether the skiff has been half-built and abandoned or cannibalized for lumber. I do wonder if there's anything of note in here. Can't get to there. Just a couple gold names. Okay, fair enough. So, these we've already looked through. It has to be the ramshackle house. There's nowhere else it could be. So, let's head over to the ramshackle house. It's the only clue we got. And we'll deal with the Valian Trading Company later. Or it could be this house right here. Yeah, we got some thugs here. It's got to be here. What are you looking at? Shove off! We've got nothing to talk about. It's got to be here. Maybe. Let's see. Nope, these are gold names. A dozen tiny somethings squirm within the pot of rice. The bed is stiff as a plank. The worn, grimy blankets feel as if they'd come apart in the wash. Alright, let's head to the ramshackle house then. It's not like we have any other options. With its crooked and missing shingles... Oh, the roof resembles a prize fighter's gap-toothed smile. Yep, this is it. Let's head in and see what we find. Deal with the instigator behind the attacks. Oh boy.
Greetings.
Afer wears a defiant expression in a sturdy yet battered suit of armor. She seems to bear each scratch and ding with pride. You don't look like one of the knights. Can I help you with something? Who are you? I'm Afer, a lieutenant with the Dozens. She taps her dented breastplate. We're the last fighting force in Defiance Bay that remembers what it means to be Dear Wooden. And unfortunately, I'm the only one who seems to care about the way Maya's squeezing the locals. I'm here about the trouble at the Salty Mast. Ordinary Kith are angry, as they should be with that crooked Amawa toadying up to the nobles. She's using the tragedy of Widewind's legacy to line her pockets. She's no better than the Adiran overlords we drove out 200 years ago. People around here know you to be an honest broker. Maya's made it so only the rich can afford her establishment, yet she sits in the poorest district of Defiance Bay. How's that fair? You know, considering every single patron there costs in the hundreds, it makes sense. She's kind of got a point. We've taken matters into our own hands, but she's the real criminal here. Why don't you tell her to back down? That's a good point. I'll see if I can get Maya to lower her prices. I'm glad you see our side. Someone stashed a few sooty playing cards under the bed. Alright, we'll see if we can help her out. Alright. Is there anything else around here? A couple refugees. Palagina.
God's damn that son of a girl.
The angry woman clenches her jaw and stares out toward the harbor with glimmering golden eyes. Eventually, sensing your presence, she turns her feathered head toward you.
Want to run it down on its luck, Valiant Trading Company? If you have more than half a brain, you could really do something with it.
She clenches her jaw and continues quietly.
As long as you're willing to clean up a few bloodstains.
What's going on exactly?
Exactly? If I knew that, I'd be in a better mood. The only thing I know exactly is that Mestre Verzano is determined to wind up in a grave before the season turns.
The woman looks back at the warehouse for a moment and grimaces. After a slight nod in your direction, she storms off. Interesting, and a little concerning. Valiant Trading Company. And the ropes dangling from the crane sway in the ocean breeze. Some bay day this turned into.
Gods keep you.
An old man paces the dock and looks out over the water. He's fussing over something large and round, which he constantly shifts from one hand to the other. You're not certain whether his wide-eyed, gape-mouthed expression marks surprise or fear. Seems he isn't either. You, don't look like a guard. He examines you and your equipment more closely. Say, you wouldn't be interested in making some coppers, would you? He shows you the object in his hand. It's a large, round opal with Engwithan runes carved into it. It glistens with sweat. See the ship that went down over there? I've been looking for someone to help me recover some missing cargo. Have you seen a boy named Darren around here? I see him every time I'm at port. He's the one who found the opal. Good kid, despite that loafer of a father. Loafer? A scowl crosses his leathery face. Drunk more often than sober, and poor company either way. He spends his scant coin at the Salty Mast when he's got mouths to feed, and yet he thinks his hollow-born daughter is the curse on his family. Any idea where Darren could be now? That boy loves the ships. He's probably playing pirates with the sailors, if he hasn't stowed away with the cargo. You see that lad? You tell him old Immortal remembers a deal. I owe him a basket of mussels for finding that opal. Anything else you need? How's business? I'll be glad to sail with captains who are more careful about their cargo from now on. I don't give a worm's wings about the Duke's trafficking laws, but I'm too old to fight ancient horrors. I just want to enjoy my twilight years doing an honest day's work. Tell me about Ondra's gift. We've got docks, fishing, and steady ship traffic. All this sprang up around the docks. It's the poorest district in Defiance Bay, but one of the liveliest. And for lively, nothing beats the Salty Mast. You'd do better to ask a younger man than me if you want to know about that place. He nods toward a large round building to the east. The model doesn't sound like a Dear Wooden name. Well, that's because it isn't. I'm from the Middle Plains, a broad savanna north of the Deerwood. Not so different than the ocean in a way. There are places where you can stand and turn a full circle and see nothing but the winds making waves in the grass. He watches the surf lapping against the wrecked boat. But at moments like this, I wonder what business a plainsman like me had taking to the water. Tell me more about this missing cargo. We started in cold morn and were making our way down the river, loading and unloading as we went. Business as usual. What exactly happened? He massages the opal in a clammy palm. When we reached Aina's Rest, we may have agreed to, take on a few crates from some place called Kliaban Relag. A couple of the lads snuck a peek at the cargo, saw suits of armor and a broken scepter. I don't know why anyone would want a broken anything, but these animancers will buy dirty stockings if you say they came from the ruins. He closes his hand around the opal in a white-knuckled grip. We were almost to Defiance Bay when the screaming started. I've seen my share of barroom brawls, but this sounded different. I was topside with the captain, but he and the first mate went below decks to see what all the commotion was about. When they didn't come back, I looked into the hold. Ugh. I saw one of their suits of armor walking around all by itself. It was covered in blood. When it saw me, it started running for the hatch, so I closed it. He squeezes his eyes shut. So how did the ship get here? He rolls the stone between his hands. I'm just a deckhand, but I was the only one left. I piloted the ship as best I could, but I hit rocks as we were passing Brackenbury. I barely made it to Ondra's gift before I had to jump overboard and swim for the docks. I'd given up on the cargo, not to mention the payday, when one of the lads pulled this up in his nets. He shows you the opal again. It's part of that scepter. From what I recall, there were 3 other pieces, and I'd bet you anything they're somewhere in the shallows, too. If anyone could find them, there'd be profit to follow. Those creatures you described sound like animats. They were probably guarding the relics. Yeah, whatever they were, they cut down the rest of the crew like straw dummies. I doubt a little salt water would have wrested them away. There must be a reason you haven't gone looking for the rest of the artifact yourself. I'm lucky to have escaped the ship like I did. I'm not taking a chance with those things. Have you talked to the Crucible Knights about this? And admit that I was smuggling relics? I doubt they'd arrest me, but I also doubt I'd see any coin from this mess. What happens if I find the rest? You find the missing pieces of the artifact, and I've got an animancer friend from my expedition days who will find you a stack of coppers. All I want out of this is a few £100 for my lost payday. That sounds fair to you. I'll give you this stone and the name of my contact once you have everything else. The model regards the opal again. Seeing as the kid dredged a stone up in his net, I'd wager you could probably find the missing pieces out in the shallows during low tide. About this relic, do you have any idea what your animancer friend wants with it? She was always tinkering with these things back when we were young. I used to think she was the fool, retiring to some dusty study in Brackenbury. After that horror on the boat, I'm thinking she made the wiser choice. Farewell, then. Okay. And we have someone named Cartugo.
Gods keep you.
Come, look at my wares. Exotic goods shipped straight from the Republics and Old Valia. Ah, a merchant. He's got quite a mess of goods, including a beagle dog and a calico cat. This small hunting hound has an impressively loud baying cry. Makes a game travel companion, trotting along your heels. And this cat's furry coat is a patchwork of black, orange, and white, and it seems very content to shed all over your belongings. I'll buy 'em. I don't need most of these other ingredients. What have we got here? We've got wrought finger gloves. Ugh. The Ring of Wonder. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. Belt of the Stelgar. Prone reduction of dexterity +2. Amulet of Jokate. Cloak of the Tireless Defender. Increased constant recovery. Ooh. Brishalgwyn Mind Marker. And Windstrike Belt. Oh, that's a druid thing. I don't think I have anything to sell. Oh no, I do. Oh right, we killed a bunch of people. There we go. That'll do. And I'll put in the cat. I'll put the cat out. Okay. So it's going to be in the shallows, so we'll have to look there soon. I'll take a look in there soon. Let's see. Surrounded by scattered planks, it isn't clear whether the skiff has been half-built and abandoned or cannibalized for lumber. Alright. We'll take a look in the Valian trading post after we go take care of this. Let's head in here. Alright, let's speak with her, see how this goes.
Hail, traveler.
Always good to have a few more warm bodies in here. Any progress with those thugs? I wanted to talk to you about that. I hear you've been raising prices. What else am I supposed to do? I have to provide certain measures for my employees and their clients, especially with so many Hollowborn in the district. And with the price of bitter squash as high as it is, I've got no choice but to raise mine. And don't get me started on cutthroat business, not with the Domenils carrying on the way they do. I could talk with the Domenils about their bitter squash prices. It's your neck. Bricanta Domenil would be the easiest to persuade. She handles the family books. With any luck, you can find her at their manor over in Brackenbury. Just watch your step around her. Watch her step around all of them. Okay, this has changed a lot. So now we need to go to Brackenbury to deal with bitter squash prices. Wonderful. We'll deal with that later. First things first. We still have the other thing that we need to look at, so let's go take a look in the Valian Trading Company. It's the only other area to look at before we look down at these docks. Seemed like someone was having problems with this place. Alright, let's see here.
Greetings.
A young woman stands behind the counter, watching you with quick, intelligent eyes. Welcome. Is this your first visit to the Valian Trading Company, is it not? Please, let me know how I can assist you. Her tone is both professional and inquisitive. Who are you? I'm the assistant manager of this warehouse. Currently, I help Verzano run things, but I'll take over when he retires, or when the company boss is back home decides it's time for new management. You have more business to discuss? What is this place? The Valian Trading Company is an association of merchants from the Valian republics. We oversee trade deals and negotiations on behalf of our merchants. She gestures toward the door on her right. This is our warehouse where we store goods in transit. Okay, fair enough. Esteemed Mester Verzano, while your ambitions would dignify any son of the republics, your methods do not. The dukes have asked once that you see to the business interests of all the republics. They are not given to asking twice. Vincent Agosti. A shipping manifest listing the cargo of the Principa Mi Siamena. 400 shark skins from Rauatai, 20 bales of blackwood from the Living Lands, and 6 dozen barrels of Adir ale. Bundled navigational charts and nautical maps. Not gonna loot there. Apretas! Keep those crates moving! For immediate transport to Barda, handle with care. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Caution, flammable. Right, keep the fire away from... Durans, keep your staff away from there.
A simple test. I can do that. That's settled.
Live specimens, do not open. Okay then. A man stands in the corner of the warehouse directing traffic. Gems wink from the many rings on his fingers as he points and waves at the laborers. His silk clothes, finely embroidered, aren't new. You notice a couple mended seams around the shoulders and a discreet patch on one elbow.
Welcome.
When he sees you, he throws his arms wide in an expansive volume. Welcome. Greetings! You have come to the warehouse and headquarters of the Valian Trading Company. He consults a pocket watch. Some of the gold filigree is chipped away. But you are late. I sent word to the expedition hall yesterday. This delivery cannot wait. He snaps the watch shut. Tell me about what you do here. I am a merchant from Ankens, the fairest of the Valian republics. Here in Defiance Bay, I run the Valian Trading Company. He gestures at the stacked crates. We ship cargo to and from the republics. We are part of the grandest mercantile organization in the world. Anything you can imagine, we can ship it. For a fee. Something else I can help you with? Or shall I return to my business? I'd like to know more about the Valian Trading Company. Oh, we are a confederation of merchants and traders from the republics. We sell all manner of goods and equipment, and for years we've enjoyed fruitful contracts with many shops, inns, and armorers throughout Defiance Bay. His smile flickers. Is something wrong? It is nothing, only that competition has grown especially fierce in recent months. But I suppose this is to be expected given the legacy, as the locals call it. Who is that feathered woman? Ah, you must mean Palagina. She's a paladin in the employ of the Valian embassy. She's a good soldier, but not so good at taking orders. Too hot a temper, I'm afraid. She seemed angry. That is no surprise. She's hot-headed. A woman in a brotherhood of paladins and touched by the gods in an unusual way. What's the delivery? I must assume then that you are not from the company I contacted at the expedition hall. But you are here and they are not. It is a bag of bitter squash seeds which are prized for their medicinal properties. Few merchants in Defiance Bay deal in them, but those who do know their value. Seems simple enough. Why ask me? A frown distorts his meticulous goatee. My own couriers have been robbed and beaten these past weeks. It would seem that some of my competitors resent my success. In any case, you are not an associate. You would be left alone. And if not, you look like you could handle yourself. Besides, all of Defiance Bay knows of your integrity, and you will have to trust my assurances that you won't find a buyer outside of my contact. Sure, I'll do it. Ah, excellent! Now deliver this package to a man named Gareth at the Goose and Fox in Copper Lane. He will know what to do with it. He slips a bag of pebbly seeds into your hand. Return to me when you are done, and I shall see to your payment.
Greetings.
Better deliver that package, no? Business such as this best be concluded quickly. Seems a simple enough task. We can take care of that. We still have a few minutes left in the episode, so I guess we'll explore what's going on in the dock area here. Not going to be able to get down onto the water for a while.
Come on, I want to pet you.
A deer clearly loves animals. We brought out a little cat, and he's very happy. That's wonderful. Okay. Let's take a look down here.
A dozen Adiran ships were shattered against these levees during the War of Defiance. Best to heed the astrologers, I find, where tides are concerned.
Place gets my blood beating in all the right places.
Does it now? Well, I will agree with you. Best to heed the astrologers when it comes to the tides. I mean, the tides are fairly regular, but still. Captain won't be happy to hear about this. This young, lanky sailor is wringing his cap anxiously, sweat beading on his furrowed brow. His eyes widen as you approach, and he takes a few steps forward.
Greetings.
If you have a moment, you're not from around here, right? You don't look like you're from the docks. I could use your help. Any chance you've seen a little boy named Darren? Huh? Oh, sure. He wanted to play on the ship, but I couldn't let him. Fortinero is very strict about that sort of thing. I had to shoo him off. Felt a bit bad about it. Saw him heading towards the salty mast. Not really somewhere he ought to be playing. Hope you find him. What makes you think I'm not from around here? A gut feeling. I really could use your help, though. You're a sailor? Yes, ma'am. I signed on about half a year back. The pay is decent, and the sight of the sun coming up over the sea. I wouldn't give that up for anything. I just wish I'd asked around about the captain first. What's the problem? Oh, thank you. They weren't lying saying you're a kind-hearted sort. It's the captain. Or rather, not the captain himself, but his chest. His sea chest. He keeps all his valuables in there tucked away safe. I was unloading it with the rest of the things, what with us staying in port a couple of days, and I may have gotten a little distracted. I wasn't gone long, just an hour at the Salty Mast. When I got back, the chest was gone. It really hasn't been that long. Whoever took it can't be too far. But the shift's changed and I'm on watch. I can't sneak off to look for it, and the captain will kill me if he hears of it. I'll get strung up on the yardarm. Please, if you could get it back for me, I swear by the flame I'll make it worth your while. You can have my pay. I won't be spending it if Captain Fortinero finds out anyway. Any ideas where the thieves might have taken the chest? Well, the chest itself is pretty heavy. Nobody I've asked has seen it getting carried around either. I figure they must have snuck off somewhere nearby, just out of sight. They can't have gone far. There's a pretty good lock on it too, so I'm hoping they haven't gotten it open. Unless they take an axe to it, I suppose. Oh gods, if they got it open, I really am done for. Farewell. Alright.
Simple test.
I'll leave that alone. Even though we can loot it, you know what? We have the, enough to spare. Go ahead, pick it.
That's settled.
A bunch of gems. Not really the most useful thing, but let's see where we can look and see if we can find anything. I have an idea where we can try looking. Let's see. Well, here leads to...
A touch of Margaren's fire should settle spirits here.
Okay, clearly we're not going in there anytime soon, but I hear screaming, so obviously there's a quest involving a haunting. Also, I just noticed there are several buildings here in the ground. This place is flooded. Now hiring builders, no experience needed.
Hail and well met.
As you approach, she eagerly turns to you. You interested in doing some construction work? Her clothes are simple, but nicer than most you've seen in Ondra's gift. Pays good money. Have you seen someone named Darren? The name doesn't ring a bell. If you find him, ask if he's interested in doing some construction. I take it you're having trouble finding workers. Workers who aren't superstitious cowards, anyway. I offer good coin, but as soon as I tell them about the job, they say an oath to the Lady of Lament and spit over the dock. They all think the lighthouse is haunted, ever since the floods of Ondra's gift. Echoes of the war. The flood certainly claimed enough souls to pack a lighthouse full to bursting. Ondra's gift was flooded? Back at the end of the War of Defiance. It was one of the finishing blows to the Aediran military. Cost us a lot, though. The whole district was supposed to be evacuated, but not everyone left in time. The Aedirans put anyone they found to the sword. The lucky ones who escaped the slaughter drowned hours later when Hadrit's forces broke the dams. Locals say the lighthouse keeper was one of the people who stayed behind. And one of the last to die. I don't know why that makes the lighthouse any more haunted than the rest of the gift, but there you have it. Have you gone inside? Who, me? Not exactly. See, my health is rather delicate, and all that dust... Alright, when I saw two Almawa deckhands running as fast as they could down the pier, I lost my nerve too. I could take a look. Good. About time someone put an end to this foolishness. She rummages in her pocket and pulls out a skeleton key. As she hands it to you, she hesitates. Just be careful. Not that I believe the ghost stories, but it is an old building, so watch your step. I have questions. What do you want to know? Do you know what might be inside the lighthouse? If only. It's been uninhabited since they flooded Ondra's gift. I already asked about Darren. What are you building? An inn. Allegedly. The gift needs a spot with a little more class than the Salty Mast. This district has been in the dumps since the War of Defiance. Seemed ready for some fresh development. So imagine my excitement when I find this place, 3 floors tall and right on the water, for sale at a reasonable price. The seller suggested that there were other interested buyers, so I closed the deal before I'd taken time to really look into it. Stupid. Being from New Haomar, I knew about the floods, but I didn't know about the superstitions surrounding the lighthouse. And the seller was long gone by the time I found out. At this point, it'll be a miracle from the Lady of Lament herself if I make my investment back. Tell me about the flooding of Ondra's gift. Hadrit ordered it near the end of the War of Defiance. It was one of the finishing blows to the Aediran military. Cost us a lot, though. Oh, wait, we already heard about that. You're not from Defiance Bay, are you? What gave it away? The accent or the fact that I was the dupe who paid good coin for this place? I'm from New Haomar on the northern coast. It's smaller than Defiance Bay, so I came here hoping for some fresh opportunities. And maybe the chance to do a little good in this neighborhood. Farewell then. Okay, the lighthouse is something we can work on. I have a feeling it's the guys over here who stole the chest. No, it is not. So, I don't know where the chest is. We'll have to look for it. Okay, so we got a whole load of quests to take care of. I think we can go take care of the lighthouse in the next episode, because this one's gone on long enough. Then after that, we've got other quests that we have to turn in over in other areas. And we'll work on taking care of things. And eventually, when day comes again, we'll take a look down in the shore here and see what we can do. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44, also known as Thalai. That is Laniara, Adair, Dorrance, Aloth, Kana, and Sagani. This has been a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity, and I shall see you all next time.